5 Eyewitness News Studios, it's Twin Cities Live with your hosts, Elizabeth Reese and Chris Egert.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us today. We have a great show planned for you, including fashions from a boutique that is only open 1 week a month.
Okay.
Why, you ask?
Why, I'm asking.
So the clothes you buy are unique and not the same stuff that everyone else is wearing.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I know there is always that thing of when you see someone who's like has something from a chain store,
right?
You're like, oh, I have that too. I actually just did that to a woman.
Yeah?
I told her she looked so cute in the dress, and I have the dress too. And then we discussed that we bought the dress, said dress from an overpriced store, but we really liked it. Anywho, continue.
So that ain't going to happen here. So that's what we're talking about today. This idea, this whole concept just blows my mind.
That would be cool.
Anyway,
I'm excited to see some more fashions.
BT from K-Twin is here with his squash soup recipe, and Emily introduces us to an artist-turned-designer who tries to keep the men in mind when coming up with new furniture ideas.
Look at that. Pretty good. Also in Doc Hollywood, we're going to talk about Oprah being super stressed out, and the doctor is going to help explain the difference between an anxiety attack versus a full nervous breakdown. But first, speaking about being on the edge of a breakdown,
it sounds like
that's kind of how my day has been. I had to tell you about the adventure I just returned from. Okay, it's Project Down and Dirty.
Yes.
We talked a little bit about it yesterday, and if you listen to My Talk 1071, then you know all about it. But if you don't, here's the dish. So it's 3 days, okay? It's technically like 3.5 of the My Talk 1071 hosts living together, broadcasting together, and then getting extremely basic military training, okay? So it's happening at Camp Ripley. It's boot camp edition of Project Down and Dirty, which is a big deal this year.
You're being treated basically as new recruits. As if you came in on the bus, you landed there, and it's like, boom.
Yeah, and this is what happens when you show up at Camp Ripley.
Oh, let's go! You got 4 seconds! You got my balls! Let's go! Hurry up! Hurry up! Oh, freaking seconds! Let's go! Go, 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 go! What are you standing for? Let's go! Let's go! You ready? We don't walk! Let's go! Hurry up! Come on, Corbin! I said get inside! Move your feet! If you don't start running, you're gonna be pushed in! You know what you're doing? Let's go! Grab your gear! What gear?
Just hold hands.
Hurry up!
We're soon. Just hold hands.
Give me a hoo!
So things have kind of calmed down for a second. There's pizza, there's relaxation, but I'm a little nervous because I think this is the calm before the storm. Apparently there's some big stuff that we have to do coming up. That's my scary face.
Okay. I love this idea. It's great.
Yep. What do
you guys showed up in a limo.
Yes, that's true. But that's simply because it was a vehicle large enough to hold everyone.
You know what another thing is? There's a thing called a bus.
Yeah, I know.
New recruits sometimes.
Listen,
I mean, I'm just saying,
know.
maybe you guys wouldn't have been yelled at right off the bat if you didn't show up in your limousine.
No, I think yelling is kind of like the order of business there. Okay, so it's super intense. There was a lot of yelling. I was so scared. I realized that if I had to go to the military, I would wilt like a flower. I would fold. It would be a disaster. I have so much respect for people in the military because I'm telling you, I am way too much of a pansy to even handle this.
Well, I think that's part of the idea of this is to create some awareness for the military, which is great.
Yeah, which is absolutely great. You know, and you're going to see more of what happened today coming up a little bit later on in the show. And I'm telling you, it gets pretty intense at Camp Ripley. So what's happening here is the reason why we're doing this over at My Talk 1071 is to raise money for a good cause. So we're all raising money. We're competing to raise money for different military charities. So you could go to mytalk1071.com. There is a Project Down and Dirty big tab right there. You can click on it and you can donate. And I would love it if you donate to Team Marjorie and Elizabeth. We are raising money for Tee It Up for the Troops. They hold events all around the country to raise money and then distribute that money to fabulous military organizations who are supporting the families of our troops, the families of our veterans. And I'm telling you, it was so, I had to race back to be here today.
Yeah.
They're up there until Friday.
You got the best deal out of this.
Don't tell them. Don't tell them that.
I presume they don't have access to TV or anything? They're like...
I don't know if they're watching Twin Cities Live. I have a feeling that they are in serious basic training. I mean, there was a lot going on. So
I heard Lori and Julia talking about it. It was like they're being sent off to Afghanistan.
Oh, well, those two. And you are also going to find out who the culprit is when it comes to snoring in the barracks. Because I'm naming names coming up a little bit later on Twin Cities Live.
Well, while you were off on your adventure, I had a little adventure of my own. The last couple mornings in the Egert household.
Yeah?
It almost is on the same level of difficulty, I'd say.
Okay, what's going on? Were you yelled at? Were you screamed at? Were you threatened?
Kind of. So my wife, 3 days a week, she works really early, so I have to get the kids ready to go to school, so it's daddy daycare time.
Yep.
So I made peanut butter pancakes with chocolate chips.
What's going on here?
Fresh fruit, juice, you know, all the things that I do. No big deal. And then I did make that, but that's not the point of this story.
I ground the flour.
I just wanted to boast for a second.
To make the pancake mix.
I walk up hills both ways. So my daughter asked me, Dad, can you put my hair in a ponytail?
Oh, sure.
And
this
I'm
is
like,
a dad's worst nightmare.
I know. And she started freaking out.
Crying, screaming, threatening, just like what was happening to me.
Mom does it. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But Mom does it, blah, 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 yesterday. So I'm like, okay, I'll try it. So I kind of did the thing and I put it all together. And
you got the twisty tie.
Yeah, and she had lumps in her hair yesterday, so it wasn't great. So this was today. This was day 2.
Okay, this
I feel like I did a pretty
well.
decent job here, right?
Yeah, this is great.
Not bad. There was a failure last night as I was taking the ponytail out for her to get in the bath. I pulled half of her hair out, so she was screaming and yelling.
Yeah.
So anyway, my kids now have become accustomed with the new position here at Twin Cities Live.
Right.
Which I've been holding now for about 6 months, I think.
It's been
I'm
great.
Sure.
Best 6 months ever.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so she goes, you are not putting that on Twin Cities Live today. She's 6, by the way. She goes, Dad, do not put that on Twin Cities Live today.
It's the worst when your family tells you you can't talk about stuff. It just makes you want to talk about it so much more.
Right. And when you tell your dad not to do something, well, sorry, Dad is going to do it. But anyway, I wrote down a couple of quotes that I thought were great. She says, and by the way, she's 6.
Yeah,
smart as a whip, couldn't be any cuter. She goes, you're going to pay for it.
If you put that picture on Twin Cities Live?
A, I'm going to pay for it,
okay.
and B, I will jump out of the window and go live with another family.
That's what you said, too. I mean,
like,
if one was to leave and go to live with another family, one would certainly take the window exit. Isn't that the truth?
I think so. I mean, that's the quickest way out.
And the most
I presume
dramatic.
she's talking about the window out of the house, not the window out of the car, because that would always be a poor choice.
Yeah, and I hope she would choose a first floor.
So I was looking around on the internet, and there's a thing that has like 2.5 million views of a dad using a vacuum to make the ponytail for the daughter's hair. And apparently that's what some dads out there have resorted to, was using a vacuum cleaner on the kids' hair.
I think this is a bad idea.
I know, I decided not to do that.
I think it's a bad, I mean, so like, how good are you going to get at this ponytail thing? Like, I don't remember my dad ever putting a ponytail in my hair.
Ever done that.
No, I never remember my dad having to do any of those things.
He had 3 girls to deal with.
I don't know what he was doing. Like, we didn't even, I don't even know who did our hair. We probably just went to school with messy hair.
Well, believe you me, we do that many days out of the week.
We do. I do always remember like dad nights for dinner, like the things that dad would make, and my sisters and I like to talk about this. Brinner was a hot deal.
Breakfast for dinner.
Breakfast for dinner. He would do a lot. He would do a lot of frozen ravioli, and then yell, "Girls, go pick out a bag of frozen vegetables."
Nice.
So we'd toddle down to the freezer,
that sounds familiar.
get some frozen corn, and call it a night.
I like your dad more now.
Listen.
More and more every day.
Sometimes if we were really lucky, we got a TV dinner.
Boom, you're living large.
I know, it's a big deal.
Did you guys see the Northern Lights last night?
I was being terrified at Camp Ripley.
Oh my God, you should have seen them. They were right there. You should have walked outside. They were amazing. Look at this.
I wasn't going anywhere unless those people said I could go.
So they were crazy. This Aurora Borealis, the shot here is out of northern Iowa.
Wow.
But people were seeing it all over north of the metro. Basically, once you got outside the city lights, like at Camp Ripley.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe what was I doing? I'll tell you, I was cowering in fear.
People were seeing them in South Dakota. They were seeing them in northern Iowa. They were seeing them all over Minnesota, North Dakota. So it was really cool. Unfortunately, there's big weather front moving in tonight, and you're not going to be able to see them tonight. So that's the sad thing.
I went all the way to Camp Ripley.
You could have walked right out your barracks.
Why didn't you text me to tell me about this?
Because I didn't know about it until
today. Well, then they gave us a whole speech about how terrifying the black bears are. There's whole bunches of bears. There's just fleets of timber wolves. When that's not a fleet,
they will tear your face off.
What's it called? A group of wolves? A pack? Packs of timber wolves.
It's actually called a wolf pack. Okay.
Listen, it's been a rough day.
Elizabeth, I want to make you feel a little bit better. I know you've had a rough day.
Thank you.
And I know nothing makes you happier than a little kale.
Well, this is true.
Today is National Kale Day, everyone.
Yes. This is great. What does this mean?
And I made you a present
Oh my
for National Kale Day.
gosh.
Her name is Kayla. This is what I did.
Did you name her after our intern, Kayla?
No,
Intern Kayla?
her name's Kale.
Oh.
The hair's not staying on real. Do you think she looks better without the hair?
No, I love the hair.
I thought she was a blonde. She seemed like she was fun
luscious
like that.
lips.
Okay, so this is Kayla, the kale bouquet that I made for you.
That was really nice.
17 years doing television, and I am pinning cardboard on vegetables, which is very exciting. And I think Kayla has some fast kale facts for you.
Okay, should I have her?
Yes.
Here, you focus on
Did you
your
know
facts.
she's available in curly, ornamental, or dinosaur varieties?
Well, I have them all planted in the
Look
backyard.
at her
so yes,
beautiful eyes, Kayla.
I did know that. Thank you for asking.
Wow.
I'm going to do a kale harvest tonight.
On this National Kale Day, it's important to know that 1 cup of chopped kale contains 33 calories, 9% the daily value of calcium, 206% your percentage of vitamin A.
What's going on here?
134% vitamin C, and a whopping 684% of your daily allowance of vitamin K.
Did you hear that, Kayla?
Kayla,
Did you hear that? That's terrific news.
is she awesome or what?
This is really sweet.
And I wanted you at home to get
you
a hint.
staple her
Well, I didn't know
hair
how
on?
else to attach her hair
okay.
on.
Okay.
Actually, just her eyes are stapled, her hair comes off. And this is a tip for you out there at home, because I want you to get some benefit out of this, other than just how funny it is. To find the freshest kale, you should look for firm, deeply colored leaves with hardy stems. Smaller leaves will be more tender and milder in flavor. Leaves range from dark green to purple to red in color.
Kayla says, thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Kayla.
Happy National Kale Day. Thank you. This should have been my wedding
She
bouquet.
would have looked pretty good at
Why
Camp
don't you make
Ripley.
me this for my wedding?
I should have. That would have been nice.
Thank you. Hey, you know what? We're pretty excited about this week. I
Yes,
came
we
back
are.
with all sorts of fun things happening. I was very thrilled because there's a lot of history in this building. One of the most popular local talk shows in the country. Well, it took place right here in the studio, and I will tell you, we are asked about it all
Yes.
the time. It's good company.
And I know it was a great show. I don't know if they ever came up with a good bit like this.
I don't think so. This,
I mean,
this is a unique
Let's say we've
thing.
evolved.
We
Good
have
company.
a much bigger budget.
Right. Good Company ran from 1982 to 1994 right here on 5 Eyewitness News, turned the host Steve and Sharon into stars. Well, they're coming back to town to support a worthy cause, and they're stopping by Twin Cities Live for a visit.
Okay, I'm so excited. You don't want to miss the return of Steve and Sharon this Friday right here on Twin Cities Live. People always ask us, have you ever had Steve and Sharon on the show? The answer is no. They've never been back in this studio since Twin Cities Live started a little more than 5 years ago. We've been calling them. We send them gifts. We stalk them.
I text them a
Yeah,
lot.
we text them, and now they're finally coming. We're really, really excited, so make sure that you tune in on Friday. Let's say congratulations to Linda Shea of Minneapolis, because she's today's Facebook Fan of the Day, presented by Ashley Furniture. Linda and her husband Dave are very smart people. They named their daughter Elizabeth. I did not write that, I promise you. I literally just walked in the door and read that right then.
I was
I have no idea what's happening
wondering
today.
what it was that made them so smart, other than being a Facebook friend of ours.
They eat kale,
Click the
hopefully.
contest logo on our Facebook page and enter for your chance to win a Twin Cities Live t-shirt.
Okay, coming up next on Twin Cities Live, our good friend BT. He is getting into the fridge because he's going to make his squash soup recipe, but he's going to use leftovers. Whoa, BT.
Look, he's in the fridge, our new fridge. You haven't seen the fridge cam
Man,
yet.
what is going on around here? This place is amazing. He's going to make it in 5 minutes or less. Wow, BT.